Weddington High School. A very good program, obviously, down there in Union County. Coach Capone, another really good season last year. I believe 13-1 record. He fell to Grimsley this time though, after beating them the year before. That was a tight game though. It was a good effort. How's the offseason been treating you so far?
Yeah, I mean every off season's a little different, but felt like we've had a good off season. Our kids were hungry getting back into it. They worked hard in the weight room, and we had a good 10, 11 day spring ball. So pleased with the work, but I know we got a lot of work on still getting ready for the summer.
Interesting group because you obviously have some really star players back, but also some open spots. I think you're about like half the starters back on the team, basically
Yeah.
from last year. We'll start on offense though, because I think second straight year you have a new quarterback, right? So that's always an interesting thing. Is there a quarterback? Is there a competition going on there for that spot?
Yeah, we got three guys. A rising senior Walker Powell, who's kind of taking the lead right now, but it's still open through the summer, and he's done a really good job. Good leader, gets him out there on his own and throws. Had a good spring. You can see week by week, and really practice by practice, he got a lot better and more comfortable. And then Patrick McLaughlin will be a junior, guy that has really good arm talent. Just trying to figure out some things, and then Paxton Ladner will be a rising sophomore. He's a big kid, 6'4", 215-pound kid with a really good baseball player as well. So, we feel good about the room. It's just kind of figuring out who's gonna take the step ahead and be that guy. But right now Walker's kind of the guy that's going to get the first reps, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
Well, the good news is they have some talent around them at the skill spots. I think there's a few receivers back. There's a couple of good running backs back. Let's go through those guys, those running backs and receivers that are returning.
Yeah, Brody Anson will be a senior running back. Filled in for Nick Diamond whenever Nick got hurt, and was a 1,000-yard all-purpose back. Big, strong kid, catches the ball well out of the backfield, and really slippery running the ball. And then Anthony Barino will be a junior. He's as electric as they come, especially in space. We do a lot of different things with him, line up in the slot, run him out of the backfield, but he's still got the ability and the strength to run between the tackles. And he's really had a good offseason as far as in the weight room. And you can see him kind of, transforming his body and gotten a lot thicker. And then, we got 2 or 3 other guys in the backfield that we feel comfortable with running the ball. And we'll always have, a multi-back room, and we always feel like using multiple backs. So, the more we can use, I think we can do different things with them and utilize our personnel. And then at receiver, Kelson Tate and John Manley coming back, and they're as dynamic as we've had here in a while, a tandem. So each are good at kind of their own thing, but they're both really good receivers, and I think they work really well together. So Kelson's guy will move around a little bit more, and you'll see him in the backfield some and try and do some different things with him. And then, John's probably our best route runner and has a great feel for the game and creating separation and all that. So we got some guys coming up from JV that should be in the rotation, and then some rising seniors that haven't gotten a ton of run at receiver that have done a good job and kind of waited their turn. And, so we need to be deep. Obviously, we're going to play kids both ways a little bit more this year. I think we've kind of gotten away from that. And something that I've kind of preached to the staff, that we need to make sure we get our best players on the field both ways. And I think if they, have that dog in them, like kids say, like they should want to be on the field on both sides of the ball. So you'll see some guys that primarily play some defense or will play some defense that'll get some run over at receiver too. And then we're really excited about our tight end and H-back, Matthew McCoy. He's a rising junior lacrosse player too. Madden moves on. He's going to Furman, reporting here, I guess, in a week and a half. So big shoes to fill, but McCoy's had a great offseason, had a really good lacrosse season. And then a physical guy, obviously we're going to block first because we're going to run the ball, but he's a guy that can control the middle of the field. And anytime you have an H-back that you can flex out and do a lot of different things with, I think it really opens our offense.
Yeah, fun for you as a coach to plan and design that too with a guy like that. So offensive line, I think we were like in the same situation last year, right? We have one starter back, but he's a good player. So Bryce Johnson, I think, is he kicking in the center this year? Is that right?
Yeah, he's taken, first team center reps. I think people like him at center at college, and I think for us, Grimsley made a good adjustment, moved Bryce Davis in at center or at nose guard in the second half, and our center was 230 pounds, and he fought his butt off, but at some point, weight and is going to take over. So, we're toying with the idea. We like it. Bryce is comfortable there, and we do a lot of different things with our center, pull him and all that. So it's not like he'll just be blocking back, but I feel like we can anchor him down, for the next 2 years. I think that's a good plan for us. But, if not, we'll look at him in different places. He's got the versatility to be able to play all 5 of those positions. And yeah, I mean, we lose 5 of the 6 guys that played a lot. And, we had a good JV team, a good JV O-line that's just coming up and getting ready for varsity level and the physicality of a varsity season. With our schedule, we played 10 straight games before our bye week. So it's going to be tough, and the non-conference isn't easy, and the conference isn't easy. So having enough bodies there will be huge for us. And we feel pretty good about, 8 guys. It's just kind of figuring out where they all fit and how we need to rotate them and who's going to step up whenever live bullets come. But we feel good about Bryce. He's done a great job becoming a leader of that group. We got a couple seniors that, again, have waited their turn that, we feel can make an impact. And then we got some underclassmen, 3 juniors, and then a sophomore that's up right now. So, a little bit mixed of, young and old and veterans. So we just got to piece it and see how it goes. But that's going to be the biggest thing, and got to be able to protect the quarterback. And we can protect him and get the ball out to these guys. Feel like we could be pretty explosive offensively.
Yeah. I'm sure it's also like the combinations too, like who plays well next to each other too. So
yeah, it's huge. Everyone knows we're a gap team and we're heavy double teams, and we got to be able to move people to the second level. And like I said, I feel like our backs when they get to second level are extremely tough to bring down. And if we can do that, we'll be okay.
So kind of different story on your defensive line. The Harris twins are back for their final year. They feel like they've been there forever. They just been so dominant ever since their freshman year. Obviously, Trajan Odom is not back. He ended up at Ohio State.
Yeah.
But still, you still have 2 4 stars back in the twins. So starting that defensive line.
Yeah. I mean, the twins are the twins. They're fun to coach. They're exhausted and coach at the same time, but tell you what, and they don't take plays off. And on Friday nights, we're going to get everything we got from them, and it's special. So I guess the good thing is that we have to block them every practice, and I think that's going to make our line better. And the bad thing as an offensive coach is that we have to block them every practice. We feel like they're playing at a higher level in the spring than they ever have been. They're extremely locked in. Obviously, they're older now. Another offseason in the weight room, they're stronger, and they've done a great job of just understanding and working on their technique. I think sometimes just raw ability can take over for them, but as they get closer to college, I mean, they'll be gone in December, early January, wherever they go. They're going to have to make sure their technique is top tier, and they've done a great job of that. So moved a couple kids down from linebacker, cross-training them at some DN and D-line, and Aiden Mannion and Connor Flynn, and they've done a great job. And we need those guys to do what, in our scheme, and then allow them, the twins, to make plays. And those are those Weddington kids that we need, and they're going to do what we ask, wrong arm squeeze, and then, they'll make plays when it comes to them. And then Rex Conlon was our leading sack guy and our best DN last year as a sophomore. He came in against West Forsyth late in the game as an 8-quarter kid, had like 2.5 sacks in the 4th quarter. So we feel good about him coming back from lacrosse this year, a rising junior. And then McCoy will get some run at some D end as well. So everybody knows we rotate our guys a lot. We're going to give them a lot of different looks. And I think, having the twins and the versatility for them to move around on that D-line causes issues. And it's fun for Coach Hall and Coach Newman to game plan for them and get them in the best matchup.
At linebacker, obviously TJ Davis is back for his 4th year.
Yeah.
Obviously speaks for himself. He's going into Notre Dame. He's a 4-star linebacker, very good player. So tell me a little about him, and then also the guys are going to be around him on that level.
Yeah, we're moving TJ to Mike this year, and I think it's a great move for us. And TJ, he feels super comfortable. there already. He's getting people lined up, moving people in the right position. And, I think the thing people don't realize about TJ is he didn't really have an offseason. He tore his labrum last year at the Rivals camp, had labrum surgery, and really didn't get cleared till, a week before Providence Day or so. So he's really transformed his body. It's noticeable how much bigger he's gotten. But, again, he's had an offseason to work at it. So people are going to see a lot more from TJ, and as good as he's been for 3 years, he looks way better now because, again, he's grown. He's had a great offseason, and I think putting him at Mike is really, really going to, expand his skill set and what he can do for us at off-ball linebacker. And then, senior Ethan DeVore and Brendan Shower are going to be our other two right now, slotted in, and both of those guys got some good playing time late in the year and really came along, and we felt comfortable going 5 deep at linebacker. And, Shower's a guy that can really run and strong and physical, and he'll play some wolf. And then DeVore's, he got a D2 offer already and just a really smart football player who's going to fit in the run really well and help TJ control, the front seven. So feel really good about those three and continuing to build depth with some of our younger kids behind them, because obviously all three of them will be gone next year. But if we can stay healthy, I think our linebacking core can be as good as it's been, if not better. And we've had our fair share of really good linebackers.
Yeah, of course, it helps having the guy like that, especially now he's the Mike this year, to kind of the other guys to play off. That's very helpful. On the back end, the safety, James Colonna, I like a lot. Good player. Ace Clements is also back there. Tell me about those guys on the back end.
Yeah, Ace played a ton last year, kind of a third corner, but like I said, we rotated a lot of guys. Ran 10.5 in track, 4.38 kid. He can roll. So physical kid, understands the game, and has done a lot better job of working on his ball skills in the offseason. So we feel really, really excited about Ace coming in at a corner for the next 2 years. James has been a 3-year starter at safety, and he's one that you'll see on some offense too as a receiver, but kind of a guy that take over as a leader in the back end of setting people, making sure everyone's right, changing coverages when we need to with motions or shifts. So James has had a really good offseason, and we're excited for him. And then, Caden Shealy's a senior that has waited his time and is a really smart football player as a safety. He's going to get the first crack at the other one. And then we got 3 sophomores right now at the other, or as a third safety, that we feel really good about. Ace's brother Major, Cole Kapicki, who's a really good lacrosse player as well, and then Jacoby Abraham. So out of those 3 guys, continue to build depth and get them ready for varsity playing time. And then, CJ Deloach is another corner. He's 6'1.5", probably, long, guy that can run too. So, just getting him more comfortable into our system, hopefully as the other corner. But we got Brody's going to play some corner. John Manley's going to play some corner. Owen Melton's a junior that can play some corner. Jackson Newman, his brother, just graduated from Princeton. He's going to Monmouth. He'll play some corner as well as a sophomore. So feel pretty deep in the back end. Just got to continue to get these young guys up to speed and ready for the varsity level and the different looks that people are going to try and attack us with.
Awesome. Tell me about the specialists, and then we'll get on to the schedule.
Yeah, Owen McNulty will be back as the kicker. Had a good year last year. Everyone knows I like to go for it on 4th down, so we don't kick that many field goals, but very consistent with extra points and field goals 35 and in. Worked on his leg to, get as many touchbacks as we can, because we feel like it's going to be hard for our teams to go 80 yards consistently against our defense. So that's the big thing that we told Owen he needed to focus on, but he'll have a chance to kick at the next level after this year. And then Liam Goodwin's going to be our punter again. Had a kind of an up and down year last year, but when he gets a hold of one, they go. So just talking to him about consistency and just getting the ball up there, and we feel with Ace and a couple other guys gunning, we can get down there and at least force a fair catch. So still working on long snapper. We had a 3-year soccer player that just started picking it up and has friends on the football team and was like, maybe I'll just try long snapping. And he's been out on the field every day on his own long snapping and really looks good. So we're excited for him. Zach Ortiz, his brother Noah played 4 years for us too, but he'll play soccer and hopefully long snap for us. So those are all crucial. I mean, we got 3 guys in college that are on scholarship long snappers: Will Cobb at Wake Forest, Quade Luganville and at Eastern Kentucky, and Alex McLaughlin at the University of Kentucky. So we feel like we know how important specialists are, and not long snappers as well. And so those 3 guys work hard, and they go on their own field and get their work done. And I don't really tell them much, but kick the ball through the uprights and into the end zone, and get the hang time high on the punt. So if we don't have to worry about them, then we feel good about it. But Coach Bowers has done a great job taking over special teams last year. He's a young guy that played here at Weddington, coaches DBs with Coach Nichols as well. But he loves special teams, and he's really creative and puts guys in good situations. So we feel like we could really be good on special teams, and that's a game changer if you can win the special teams every game.
So you're a long snapper factory. That's very, very cool there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and we got some kickers that are, well, Ian's kicking at Furman for like his 7th year, so
yeah, that's pretty good.
We've had our fair share. Everett Scott's kicking at ECU right now as well. So,
wow, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Tell me about your other staff members. You mentioned your special teams guy. Tell me about the rest of the guys they're helping.
Yeah, John Hall is our D coordinator. He was my first hire when I got to Weddington, and we're not who we are without him. Came in, learned our defense that I said we're going to run what we run here. We had four seniors my first year, and we had 10 starters back on defense, and he just continues to build it, build the defense and grow it. And he's done an unbelievable job. He should be a head coach already. Selfishly, I'm glad he's still with us because he makes us who we are. But he'll have a shot one day and be really successful. Mike Newman's our D-line coach. He's been with me forever. That's Jackson and Jalen Newman's dad, Weddington guy that does a great job. And he might have the hardest job on the staff, with dealing with the twins all the time. But he's the right man for it, and he does a great job of moving those guys around and creating mismatches. Sean Lyerly's Claire Lyerly, the softball coach, his husband. He's been with us for a few years as a linebacker coach as well. And then you got Coach Nichols and Coach Bowers in the back end, and those are 2 of the best at DBs. Offensively, Corey Smith, our quarterback coach, he's been a head coach before at Forest Hills, a coordinator at Porter Ridge, and one of my best friends from high school. I've known him for years, and we kind of think the same thing and the same way about offense and football. And Coach Goldstein's our running back coach. Hired him since I've been here. He's been with us since then. Coach Bays actually was there a year longer than me on staff. He's doing our tight ends. Mike Morris coaches the O-line, and I like to get down there and help him with that whenever I can. But the most important position on the offense is the offensive line, in my opinion. So he's crucial for us. And then Coach Trey Long, our receivers coach last year, moved on to Chambers to be the offensive coordinator. So I'm excited for him and see what he does, taking a step in his coaching journey. So we hired a guy from Mountain Island Charter that Coach Hall coached at Forest View when Coach Hall was there. McKelty Armstrong played at App and then transferred to Division II school his last year, but had 101 catches his senior year at Forest View. Really understands the game, is energetic and eager to join us, and he's been great this spring. So kind of joked with him because he was talking about his 101 catches, and I went back and looked at Keenan's senior year, and when Keenan had 102. So he was kind of a little upset about that whenever I told him that one of our guys had 102 and jumped his numbers that year. But hopefully we got somebody that has 100 plus or 2 guys with 75 plus, and he's done a good job of conforming and coming in and establishing him at the receiver coach. And then kind of our biggest guy that comes through is Coach Martini. He's an older guy, 80-year-old guy, rides around on the golf cart, but he keeps the kids in check, but he keeps the coaches in check too, and he's not afraid to tell us what we need to hear, whether we don't want to hear it or not. So having Coach Martini around makes our team and our program better for sure.
Awesome. So schedule-wise, the conference is different this year. You basically added Piedmont and Charlotte Catholic to a conference that was already pretty good, and now you're adding on to it. What are you doing in non-conference that will get into the conference?
Yeah, open 2 home games. Mooresville, who's extremely talented, going to be a problem and really good in 7A. And then Myers Park in 8A. week 1 and 2. Then we go on the road against Monroe, who just won state championship, and Coach Sal is always reloading, and then have Crest week 4. So we're going to see our fair share of talent early and a lot of speed early, which is good for us and we need to see. So 4 big non-conference games to open and kind of see where we're at with that, and then jump right into our conference. And no game's going to be easy in conference.
Yeah.
Sorry, the bell. I think one thing in Union County is that we got great head coaches and great coaching staffs, and everyone has great game plans. And we already know we're going to get everyone's best, and that's what we want. And but we're never going to not play or back down from anybody. And I'm glad we don't have to travel maybe as far this year, but we still got 4 tough non-conference games before we get into a really good conference schedule.
Yeah, it should be a really, really fun league, especially with Catholic coming in. That's going to add a new element to what everyone kind of does there already. So it'll be fun that week to prepare for that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, and we get them fairly early. So, our first 7 are really, really, really tough.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on today. Thanks for your time, and best luck here rest of the offseason. And, of course, best luck this next season.
Yeah, appreciate it, and everything you do for high school football and bringing shine to it. So,
thank you.